Unfortunately, as usual, things did not go according to plan. Hi, my name's Nick and welcome to the Rig and Farm YouTube channel. Our farrowing area is surrounded by this Premier 1 electric hog netting and also a little bit of poultry netting that we had left over from before moving to this property. The additional 2 acres of wooded pig pasture that we have is surrounded by 3 strands of electrified polywire. We also use the polywire to separate the pasture into 5 separate paddocks. We train our pigs at a very young age to respect this electric polywire. When we first bring them to the farm, we put them in a smaller area that's surrounded by the netting. Once they get used to that, we integrate the polywire. It usually only takes a couple weeks for them to get fully trained on the polywire and they can get put in the pasture with the rest of the pigs. Right now, I'm standing in the middle of our pig pasture where our other female pig, Morcia, had her babies a few weeks ago. A bunch of this polywire has been knocked down by something other than our pigs. That something is wild boar. The polywire does shock them, but they run through the fencing because they have no idea what's happening because they're not trained on it like our pigs are. We're pretty sure that they were attracted by the smell of the babies and possibly Morcia going back into heat a few weeks after she lost her babies. Obviously, we don't want wild boar on our property, and we especially don't want them in our pig area. And the number one reason for that is actually why we're making this video right now. This is our intact boar, Lardo Calrissian, and he got attacked because he's competition for that wild boar. You can see he's got a bunch of scratches all on his side. He also has a very deep gouge on his back near the neck and a pretty big gash above his right eye. His front right leg seems to be sprained or hurt in some way because he's limping and only walking on 3 legs. We have seen him put pressure on it, so we don't think it's broken, and really all we can do is wait and see what happens. When we found him like this, we cleaned his wounds and put a topical antibiotic on him to help prevent infection. This attack happened almost a week ago, and he seems to be doing relatively okay considering the fact. He's still eating and drinking just fine, and he's still being affectionate, and let me tell you something, he's being affectionate. Because Guanciale is about to have her babies, we really can't have the other 3 pigs with her. They compete for the same space where she needs to be while having her babies and while nursing them while they're still very young. Ashley worked all night at the hospital last night, so she's currently sleeping while I'm filming. Shortly after she wakes up and has some coffee and we get the kids home from the bus stop, we're going to go ahead and start reworking this entire area so we can give Guanciale her own private space and then get the other 3 pigs in a slightly larger space elsewhere where they still have access to their previous shelter and water. We have actually seen this wild hog, but unfortunately we didn't have any firearms or any other weapons on us when we encountered it. In the meantime, we've been doing some target practice and we're hoping that we can eliminate this threat from ever coming back. We've actually camped out for a few hours at a time just outside of the pig area in the event he comes back. We love our animals very much and we absolutely hate that this happened to Lardo. He's definitely one of the sweetest animals here on our farm, and we're really hoping to be able to protect him and all of our other animals from any future attacks. Predator attacks happen on small farms like ours and big commercial farms all over the world, and that's actually the #1 killer of livestock. Please comment below if you ever had any issues with predators and what you did to solve the problem. We're also open to suggestions on what we can do to protect the borders of our pig pasture. I'm filming this at the end of March of 2023, and we've pretty much already blown our entire budget for the year, so if there's anything you can do to help out that doesn't cost a lot of money, we'd greatly appreciate it. You can also help directly by supporting our farm by either giving us super thanks here on YouTube or becoming a patron on our Patreon page where you actually get some pretty sweet perks for pledging. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll definitely be posting updates on what happens with our pigs. We'll see you next time.